Good morning and welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Mornings with Wayne and Tim, brought to you by 4:45, which is on Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. What a fun store.
Great fun.
Yeah, go check it out. How are you this morning? You're not 100%.
I'm a little under the weather.
My goodness.
That's okay.
That's because you're doing 1,400 jobs.
I suppose so.
I think.
Yeah, I'm a little stuffy. Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'll survive. How are you?
I'm good. Took you a minute. See, he's not on.
No,
the beehive is a-buzzing, my friend.
Why?
Because Beyonce surprised everyone in the world by releasing a new live album called Homecoming, and it features some of her performances from Coachella.
It's an album?
An album.
She surprised us with an album?
She just went like, boom, here it is. Yeah, because she can. And you know what? The picture they have of her, poor girl doesn't have a thing going for her. And she's also debuting a documentary by the same title on Netflix.
Homecoming?
Homecoming.
Okay, this you don't just put an album together and I mean, this is obviously in the works and she didn't tell anybody about it. How do you keep it all hush-hush like that when you've got studio time booked? Obviously, they must have had recording stuff going on at the concert at Coachella.
Especially when you're Beyonce. They follow her every move.
I know. You tricky Beyonce.
She's the queen of the beehive.
Yeah, she can sing. She can do everything.
Yeah, you know what?
She's a triple threat.
She's a triple threat, yeah. Except I wouldn't have her thighs if I had to.
Just a little too robust?
A little voluptuous, yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm so, not voluptuous myself.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. It's a thing.
I know it's a thing. It is a thing. What day is it today in the history of?
Thanks for asking. On this day...
You should see him in the morning at his desk. And he doesn't write with a pen, he uses a pencil, so I hear scratch, 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 scratch.
In 1492, who sailed the ocean blue?
Not me, not you.
Columbus. But this was the date that he actually signed the contract with the Spanish monarchs.
There was a contract.
Remember Queen Isabella? Wasn't she the one who said, "Oh, go Columbus, and I'll give you the ships, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria"? Wasn't that them?
Okay.
Okay, so I don't even know history. I'm making this stuff up, but I think I'm right. Anyway, they contracted him to go to the Indies.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought this was him on a whim going, I need a boat because I want to go for a ride.
The Queen of Spain said, go and bring me riches, and it wasn't just about the riches. So here's what it is.
Imagine a resume for that job interview.
He says, go to the Indies and convert them to Catholicism.
Okay. Didn't know that.
And if you do that, we'll give you 10% of all the riches that you find and governorship of any lands that you encounter.
That is crazy to me. I had no idea.
So then instead of going to the Indies, he landed here, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
North America.
Somewhere down, like Florida. No, am I right? I don't know where he landed. I don't know where he landed, but what he did was then, I just think that's a terrible thing.
What?
To go and say, go find a new land, and when you get there, take over everything, take all the riches, you get 10% for yourself, and then turn those savages into Catholics.
And everything's so different nowadays, right?
Don't do that. Leave people alone.
But you know what? But hence the whole argument about lording over the Native community and the indigenous history, and who the heck are we to pull children away from their families so we can assimilate them? You know what? It's like there's so much ego involved in that, right? Even for Christopher Columbus. Oh, for Christopher Columbus.
And that's why they called Native Americans Indians, because he thought he was in the Indies. That's the only reason they called him.
Okay, so now he's dumb too. He signs a contract, doesn't even know where he is.
So why do you think it's offensive to Native Americans and Aboriginal Canadians? I mean, not even Aboriginals, Indigenous people.
Yes.
Because it wasn't Canada yet.
No.
To call them Indians. That's because...
Not just that, but we're going to come to you and we're going to make you Catholic.
And take everything you got.
Yeah.
That bugs me.
I could tell.
Explorers are bad people. Although, well, I guess if they didn't explore, I'd still be in Ireland.
Yeah, I'd be in France.
It rains a lot there, and it's gloomy, and
France
you
is
can't
lovely.
swim off the beaches. I'm so happy that Christopher Columbus
Way to
came
go,
here.
Chris. Thanks, man. Thanks for having my back.
That's all I have for today in history.
Okay.
Otherwise, no. What?
You know Victor Hugo's book, Hunchback of
Oh,
Notre Dame?
yeah. You're back to the church now?
Huge. The sales reached #1 on Amazon.
Because
France.
because the church caught fire there, we went to buy this book?
Yeah, because they're, I guess it's re-sparked. And you know what?
Re-sparked.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. The preface in the book by Victor Hugo says, the church will perhaps itself soon disappear from the face of the earth.
Wow.
What?
You'd say that was foreshadowing, except for the fact that it was like 200 years ago. When did he write that book? 18 something, I think. Oh, there it is. Hey ho. Somebody wrote a thing on tweet about. Oh, I'm sure
Twitter.
On Twitter. They wrote a tweet on Twitter.
You said somebody wrote a thing on tweet.
Somebody tweeted on Twitter.
Tweet.
And it said that they figured that the atheists were all really happy now that the cathedral in Notre Dame caught fire. Just because somebody's an atheist doesn't mean they don't
appreciate history and architecture
or
and,
respect other people's
the
opinions.
heritage. Yeah, right. You're an atheist. I bet you're thrilled.
You know what? Like, atheists aren't people who say don't disagree with people who do have a faith.
Right.
That's fine. Just they don't and you do.
And you know what? Who thinks that atheists are sitting around waiting for something bad to happen to the Catholics or any other religion so that they can go, I told you.
And religion isn't what you need to have bad things happen. Elections make bad things happen. Jason Kenney in Alberta. Oh.
Right?
What's going on in this country?
They're sprouting up all over the place.
They are.
Just like viruses.
Somebody said that Jason Kenney, oil, pipelines, gas, bigotry, anti-science, dominionist, social regression. That's
okay. There's a nice bio for you.
Have a good time, Alberta.
Yeah. Gee. Yeah, the doors are open.
Gosh.
Ontario is open for business. Just look at our license plates and you'll see that.
I'm a little scared. And then when we get back, I want to talk about the loony. Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh my, yeah, that's a whole other
kerfuffle going on. But in the meantime, it's Wellness Wednesday.
It's Wellness Wednesday. We're going to make you feel weller than you've been in the longest time.
Weller. We're talking today with some veterans about PTSD and also about the need for a retreat here in Northern Ontario. And they're going to do a fundraiser for that. And then Clean North is here to talk about our environment. Jason Kenney. So, Luann has the news. All that and more on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
I need a new phone. What do you use your phone for mostly?
Work, play.
Oh, you mean everything.
One that won't run out of battery when Joyce from accounting is doing the Running Man.
Who else wants to see that Running Man demo?
The Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It's a great phone with a powerful all-day battery. We got the best phone for you for a great price. And you can choose your carrier.
A little Running Man?
Just a little. There.
Nice.
I hope no one saw that.
Whew. Where was she when I went phone shopping?
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and joining me in the studio right now I have Frank Iexi, like how I divided that up? Frank Iexi and James Seaton. These guys, well, Frank is a co-founder, James is the treasurer, and you're now the president of the Algoma Veterans Association.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about the history of the association, Frank, as a co-founder.
Well, we started off 2 years ago with two guys having coffee.
That's it, eh?
That's it. My co-founder's name is Joe Kelly.
Okay.
And from that, we are at
what was the conversation over coffee that you decided that you needed an association locally? Because we have veterans associations, don't we?
No.
We don't? We never had one?
Well, the Legion would be.
Other than Veterans Affairs? Do we have a Veterans Affairs office?
No.
No. And the Legion was
your main point.
the main point. And what the Legion's it's for sale, isn't it? The building's for sale.
The building is.
Because the membership has gone down quite substantially.
Correct.
So lack of support, lack of awareness?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do with the Algoma Veterans Association, is bring awareness and bring veterans back to try and make themselves back into society.
Get back into society. You spent how many years?
22 years in the Air Force.
In the 22 years. You said you were an
aircraft mechanic.
Aircraft mechanic.
Yeah.
Something that I didn't realize that you brought to light when we were having a conversation was that after 22 years and working on aircraft, like the job that you did,
right?
When you came out of the Air Force, you didn't have a ticket to work on commercial like other airlines.
No.
Even though you had 22 years of experience.
Correct.
You would have had to go and do the testing and all that kind of stuff.
All that stuff. Go right through the whole course again, pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what's your background, James?
I have 3.5 years in the infantry.
3.5 years in the infantry. You came to Sault Ste. Marie from Muskoka?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So where did you serve?
All across Canada.
All across Canada. Yeah. And interesting also, the two gentlemen sitting here, you can't see them, but they both have hearing assistant devices. 3 years.
Yep.
You didn't even realize that you had a hearing issue. And you said this is something that happens with veterans. Sometimes the effects of the service don't come out till years later.
Yeah. As you age, you just naturally think it's something that's happening to you, because as you get older, your hearing starts to go, your bones start to feel a little sore and that kind of thing. But when you think about it, what we put our bodies through when we're serving, it actually affects us later in life, and a lot of that stuff doesn't come to light until you start to get a little older and slow down. And
then you get the joy of going through all the red tape and bureaucracy of trying to prove that what you're experiencing is a result of your time in service.
Yeah. Correct.
You've had some major issues with your body because of the work you did with aircraft mechanics.
There's some areas where you have to go into to change parts, and it's pretty rough.
Pretty cramped.
Pretty cramped. You're
contorting
for sure.
Yeah.
And then reaching up and doing other. Well, I mean, it's hard on you, right?
Yeah. So that's required surgery.
Yeah. 2 years ago, this past September, I had 9 hours under the table for a neck surgery.
Neck surgery. Mm-hmm. The other thing that we were talking about is when I first, the reason we're here today is because you guys want to raise some money because you have formed this association about 2 years ago then.
Yes.
There's an ultimate goal. We'll talk about that ultimate goal first, and then we'll talk about the raising the funds and about my misconceptions about veterans. Okay,
fantastic.
So here we go. Algoma's Veterans Association. There's an ultimate goal, Frank. What is it?
The ultimate goal in the end is to have a retreat.
A retreat.
And hopefully the retreat can be on water. I would like to see it on water.
Very healing, very soothing.
Very soothing. Veterans like to fish,
Yes.
relax in the boat, go out on their own.
Absolutely. Walk.
Nature,
quiet.
Quiet, for sure. We're trying to get them to basically transform back into civilian, right? So we're going to give them an area where there's going to be professionals coming in.
Okay.
Basically, we're going to try and have yoga classes. We're going to try
okay.
Things like that.
And the other thing that you talked about was having veterans helping veterans, and that's the whole point of Algoma Veterans Association.
It's our motto. We help. Yes, help. Yeah.
Because so many of the hoops you have to jump through when you're trying to get either whether it's treatment, whether it's compensation, you're dealing with a bureaucracy, and these people don't necessarily have a background in serving for their country, as in the military, in the Air Force, in the Marines, Navy, whatever.
Correct.
So you're trying to express to people you don't understand what you've been through.
No, that's right.
So to have someone who's been there, done that.
Right.
Huge, right?
It is.
How many members have you gotten all together in Sault Ste. Marie already?
In this area, we have just over 130 now.
See, that to me is remarkable, that there's that many that have come to you that are looking for the support.
Yeah. I've had wives and husbands come to me and say that the group has helped their partner immensely.
Just to have someone who understands.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were also talking about you're 18 years old. Let's say, how old were you when you enlisted?
21.
21, okay. So now you're going into a life where you're being told what to do from morning till night. You're being fed, you're being dressed, everything is provided for you. That ends, boom. You're back in society, and there's no structure to your day. There's no one cooking for you or dressing you.
Yeah.
Teaching you the basics of how to survive as a civilian.
Yeah, and it is basics, right? So when you leave, you're almost like you're going into university. You're leaving home. You don't know what you're doing. You get into an apartment. You're lost, right? That's the same way a military guy is.
Coming back, lost. But without even when you're in university, there's structure.
There's structure.
And there's places to go to, and you know where you're. Wow.
Yeah.
So we want to get this retreat going, which is an amazing concept, and you want it to be a prototype for other retreats. You would like to see this happen as the way that you do it, the way you set it up, the way you fund it.
Correct. I want the prototype to be able to be across Canada. I'd like to see it get to that level where we're all helping the veterans, and veterans are helping each other.
What kind of support have you had from the community here just in the last couple of years, and just when you're just broaching the subject of getting this thing going?
Nothing but great. The mayor's helped us a lot.
Okay. The Legion. You're involved with the Legion.
We're involved with the Legion. We help the Legion. During the poppy campaign, we actually went out and did poppying for them.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the poppy thing. So James, I think you were the one who said you were standing once doing the poppies, and someone said, "Well, I'm used to seeing a veteran standing here."
Yep. Yeah, I was in the Canadian Tire entranceway last year, and this guy walked in, and I had several actually, but the first guy walked in and he said, "Joe, where's the veteran?" I said, "Well, I'm right here." And he went, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." And a lot of our problem is
misconception.
People look at us and they don't see us as a veteran because we're
not old. We're not senior. I shouldn't say old.
I hate to say it, but even my kids still look at veterans because it's what's portrayed to them, right? It's the older gentleman with the cane, because we relate it to Second World War and Korea, First World War. Veterans now
are in their 20s,
and we've been in different war zones across Canada, well, not through Canada, but around the world. And we're not considered war. It's a peacekeeping mission, so we're not recognized in the same manner.
As World War I and World War II and the Korean War, which is all named war.
Yeah. The guys in World War I and World War II and Korea and that, I look at them, they're heroes.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
These frontline.
and I don't consider people like me and Frank heroes. We're just normal people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it kind of gets lost in the midst.
When I saw the announcement that came across my desk about the dinner dance that we're going to talk about right now, I pictured, and I was honest with you, I was like, okay, a veterans dance. I pictured a bunch of silver-haired gentlemen and their wives, you know, sitting down to have like some cabbage rolls and maybe a good old country and western band playing some music, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's what at the Moose Lodge or that's what I pictured. I just pictured like a dinner dance for seniors. It's you guys.
Yeah.
It's a whole new spin on it.
A little
Like-
green, a little bald, but I mean.
and this is part of the other thing the Algoma Veterans Association wants to do is dispel these myths about who veterans are, right?
Yeah.
If we've got veterans in our group, they're in their 20s.
See, I just sitting with you in the green room. Well, I party with you. You seem like you have a lot of good. You probably have a good time when you go out. So, yeah. Where is this? Where are we? So where am I going to party with you? Where are we going?
Primavera Hall.
That's Wellington West, just before the underpass.
It is.
Parking is in the rear.
It is.
Okay. What date?
April 27th.
What day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday
That's
night.
a good night for me. I'm generally free on Saturdays. April 27th.
Correct. Doors open at 6.
Okay.
Dinner at 7.
What are we eating?
We are having pasta,
Meatballs.
Meatballs.
soup, salad, chicken, potatoes,
Oh,
vegetable.
Love it.
Homemade dessert bar.
A dessert bar. Cash bar.
Yep.
Entertainment.
Yes.
Rock and roll.
2 bands coming in to help us out. They're volunteered their time for
Yeah.
this night. Everything that's everybody's done so far
Do you
for
want
us.
to name the bands? Or is there one name? Is
You
there
go
one
ahead.
name?
Crossroads.
Crossroads? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then the
Yeah.
other guys are some buddies of yours that are
Yeah.
splitting up to play for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
Okay. How much?
$50 ticket.
Yeah?
Door prize.
You got a door prize too?
We do.
Ooh, we love door prizes.
7 nights anywhere in the world for accommodations.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
Just the accommodation.
And you know what? Here's the cool thing also about the Primavera. It's an intimate hall. What, 175 maybe?
Yep.
So that means your chances of winning that door prize are excellent.
Very good.
I'm going. Okay, where do I get the tickets?
Well, you can contact Frank or I directly.
Okay, we're going to put the numbers on the screen in post-production because we're taping this interview. So when it's all over and done, hopefully right now you'll be seeing their phone numbers on the bottom of the screen to call for tickets.
If you know one of our board members, they have tickets available as well.
Okay.
Or you can contact us on our Facebook page.
You have a Facebook page, which is?
AVASSM, Algoma Veterans Association, Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay.
And we have all our contact information there for tickets as well, so you can message us there or give us a call.
And proceeds are going to
towards the
start
foundation.
this foundation. Then the
Foundation.
fund- all right.
Yep.
Do you have property yet?
No.
Are you looking for someone to give you land? Would that be nice? Some waterfront land?
Somebody would give me land. I would.
Somebody give Frank some waterfront property
I
that
would
you know.
love that.
Yeah, for the veterans.
Yeah.
I want to have you guys back on the show again because I find this completely fascinating and I don't know enough about this and I want to learn more. So first of all, just thank you very much for
thank
your
you.
service, obviously, and thanks for what you're doing in the community, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks.
Great, good luck with the dance. Come back after and tell us as things progress and if there's anything else we can do to help.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, we'll be back with Luann on Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
Drop by one of our 3 Sault Ste. Marie locations. You do life, we do taxes.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
Okay, so I've been trying to tell you about this loony thing.
Yes, what's going on with
I didn't know about this. So I guess there's a loony coming out to commemorate the changes to the criminal code, or the criminal code reform in relation to the laws around homosexuality. Okay, so I guess there were changes to the criminal code around 1969. Remember when Trudeau famously said the government has no place in the bedrooms of the people, whatever?
Yes.
Okay, so that was all about, sexuality and gender and whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, no, not gender, sexuality, sexual preference. I don't know. Anyway, so in 1969, so that was 50 years ago? Yes. So 50 years ago, they began to make some changes to the criminal code. It did not, however, it didn't decriminalize homosexuality.
What?
No, homosexuality was still a crime in 1969.
Stop it.
Yeah, and it was still a mental illness into the 70s.
Well, that I knew.
Okay.
A crime?
Yes.
So you could go to, could go to jail if you were a homosexual or a lesbian.
You could get charged with something. I don't know what kind of jail or if it was not decriminalized. So now you got people from the LGBTQ plus community saying, why do we need a coin to commemorate something that really wasn't anything special other than some criminal code reform? It wasn't decriminalized, and as a matter of fact, they still found ways to charge homosexuals with gross indecency in the bathhouse raids in the 1980s. Mm-hmm. That was still going on. They got rid of those charges, but they just made up some more to keep it.
But the loony doesn't just pertain to sexual laws.
The loony that's coming out is for LGBTQ plus, and it's two faces apparently that overlap each other, and this is to commemorate 50 years since the beginnings of reform to the laws around homosexuality.
What do you think? I hear people are divided.
They are, and then the social conservatives, there's a guy named David Cook, he's from Citizen Go, I think it's in the prairies. He says that Canada should not politicize coins with Trudeau's gay agenda. Yeah. He says the coinage signals an approval and a celebration of homosexual behavior, and that shouldn't happen. So you got the people on the... And
some of the LGBTQ members are not...
No, this is nothing to celebrate. This is,
and you know what, though?
It's a fake celebration.
My take on it is it shouldn't have anything to do with any kind of sexuality. It's got a loony on it because Canadians, Canada, the loon, so that's not political, it's not biased, it's generic, we should be proud of that, no?
I'm with you. I don't think that a coin is, I don't think a Canadian currency is a place. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm gay. Yeah. And I still don't think the Canadian currency is a place.
Because it doesn't seem like that should be political. It should be historic. More, in my mind, anyway.
So
interesting.
Yeah, the loony.
So did you pose for it because you have such a beautiful profile?
My profile. This is talk about loonies.
Yeah, couple right here, 2 trees.
Hey, really cool piece coming up right now with Clean North.
Okay.
It's World Earth Day. It's Earth Day coming up. Mm-hmm. And so there's some volunteers from Clean North that are going to talk to us about a film that's being released and shown here in Sault Ste. Marie, and about some volunteerism and about what Clean North does.
That's so awesome.
I know.
And Clean North has been in our community for so long, and the information that even just sitting in the green room listening to conversation, the information is phenomenal.
It's fascinating.
And you're hoping to work with them a little bit more frequently.
Yes, that is correct. We're hoping to have them on the show a little more regularly.
And while we're waiting on that, why don't we check out local news and weather, and we'll be back to do that right after this.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride, Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades including installation are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Thousands of people across the country take part in the Canadian Cancer Society's Relay for Life. So join the Relay for Life, and together, let's make a difference.
Budget 2019 plans to make significant upgrades and improvements to training and post-secondary education across the province by working with colleges and universities to put incentives in place for post-secondary institutions to provide the education and training students need to ensure they are better equipped for the jobs of tomorrow. Sioux College President Ron Common is particularly pleased about the creation of the new internship program called the Northern Ontario Skilled Labor Funding Stream. That's the establishment of programs to encourage people to enter the skilled trades and the creation of a one-window portal that will make entry into an apprenticeship as easy as applying to a college or university. Executive Director of the Sioux's Innovation Centre, Peter Bruin, said reforming post-secondary economic performance output via the establishment of the expert panel on post-secondary intellectual property is a significant admission that Ontario has not been able to convert enough of its incredible research power into high-value jobs. Performing on this item alone, he added, will create many thousands of well-paid jobs in the midterm and build globally competitive companies across Ontario. Sioux MPP Ross Romano said he's looking forward to collaborating with Northern Post-Secondary Education and Innovation Centres to ensure the workforce has the skills required for jobs coming up.
Yeah, a lot of teachers I talk to, and I take endless calls from teachers, and I talk to them. They're very reasonable. They don't agree with the teachers.
Premier Doug Ford warned teachers yesterday not to pull this strike nonsense, with a likely challenging round of bargaining set to start as soon as this month. Teachers' unions have already expressed concerns about a recent education announcement from the government, which includes larger class sizes for grades 4 to 12. That will mean thousands of teaching jobs are lost, they say, though the education minister has said no teacher will involuntarily lose their job. The Progressive Conservative government's recent budget pegged education spending growth at 1.2%, but that increase is largely due to higher student enrollment instead of new programs and is lower than the rate of inflation. Teachers and education workers' contracts expire at the end of August, and the government has signaled its intent to start negotiations as early as April 29th. Ford added that before the ink was even dry on Election Day, they declared war on us. The unions, not the teachers. President of the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, Harry Bischoff, said there's no war on government, adding that they're making every effort to reach out to the government to try to establish a productive dialogue in order to resolve any issues that might arise. Ford also set an August 31st expiry date for teachers' contracts, right before kids go back to school, will never happen again under his government. But Education Minister Lisa Thompson was less equivocal. She said that she respects the Premier, but she also respects the consultation process and the importance of good faith conversations with Labour partners and education partners. Boards and teachers have also expressed concerns about Thompson's announcement that starting in 2020-21, students will be required to take a minimum of 4 credits out of 30 through e-learning courses. Ontario is looking at merging ambulance services, but the Premier is guaranteeing that the move will not result in fewer paramedics. In its budget last week, the Progressive Conservative government said it plans to streamline the way land ambulance dispatch services are delivered by integrating the 59 emergency health services operators and 22 dispatch centers. The Association of Municipalities of Ontario said the government told them that their intent is to move to 10 ambulance services through restructuring. Executive Director Pat Vanini wrote in a recent letter that AMO is shocked with the news and that there is no ready information on the government's plan to do this restructuring, how it was determined, let alone what happens to cost sharing. AMO said yesterday that the government had since assured them it would work with the association as well as municipal governments and stakeholders. Premier Doug Ford said that no firm decisions have yet been made and added that service would not go down. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Premier Doug Ford's government has yet to indicate the priority building projects it will partner with his government to build. The delays are putting jobs at risk as the summer construction season approaches. Trudeau's comments come months ahead of a federal election in which Ontario will be a key battleground.
Current Conservative government in Ontario has not approved a single infrastructure project with the federal government over the past year. So we have a large amount of money ready to be invested in tangible infrastructure projects like public transit that are so important for municipalities, for Ontarians, for businesses, and the provincial government under Doug Ford does not want to partner with us to make those investments.
I can confirm that John Britton, a 60-year-old man from Penticton, has been charged with 1 count of second-degree murder and 3 counts of first-degree murder.
A city employee has been charged with 4 counts of murder after a series of shootings in Penticton, BC. 68-year-old John Britton is charged in the deaths of 2 men and 2 women. RCMP Superintendent Ted DeJager said those killed were in their 60s and 70s.
As the families of the victims on Cornwall Street have requested privacy, and there is no operational requirement to further our investigation, we will not be releasing the names of the victims. Our preliminary investigation has determined that the accused and each of the victims were known to each other. The question of motive remains under investigation.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today. To help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument, visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
You've heard, of course, that J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez are engaged now.
Yes.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel, or one of the late night shows.
Okay.
And he was talking about how he rehearsed the proposal for 6 months.
What?
To the point where he proposed to her on a beach, right?
Okay.
He actually timed the sunset for 3 days prior to asking her, because he wanted the sunset to be at a particular place, and he had an assistant timing it to show.
Now, I don't know if that's romantic or just kind of spooky.
Well, and you
Is
know
that kinda
what?
creepy?
I thought it took that long just for him to transfer the ring from his pocket too.
It was so heavy.
And she's got a collection. I don't
Was it
think
like
it's fair.
6 carats or something?
Yeah, and she's got 14 or 15 of them by now. Like,
how many marriages has she gone through? This is her third?
I think she's yes. This is
Was Mark Anthony. And then
someone before him.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And there was a whole switch over, like cheating.
Yeah,
and
but she's been diddied.
She's been pitied and diddied. She's been pitied and diddied to death.
Diddy do dad there.
Diddy do da.
Diddy dad dog Diddy.
P do Diddy dog.
P Diddy went out with him for a long time.
Did she?
And Ben Affleck, the love of her life, there was
Right.
an engagement ring there as well, and there was a Diddy ring.
There was a.
She's got rings. She's got rings. Like, you know how sometimes when your sock drawer is too full, you open it and they come popping out? That's like her with her engagement rings. It's not fair.
Oh, J-Lo.
J-Lo.
3 days on the beach timing the sunset. Is that an A-type personality?
I would say, you know what? I would also say that's something that I would do. A little.
I can't. No, I would never be like that. That's still
that's a bit much. Seriously, that's a bit.
That goes beyond romantic into like
I would check weather forecasts. I mean, if you're going to propose on a beach, of course you want it to be a nice day. You don't want it to be raining.
Exactly.
Right?
What did he check the weather? He probably checked the weather.
He probably wrote a note to God. Dear God.
Can you imagine though if she's they're on the beach, and what if she said no after 3 days? I was out here for 3 days timing the sunset, woman.
You're gonna say yes if it kills you.
Or then she finds out that he did that, and she's like, "You're a freak. I'm not married, but I'll take the ring."
Yeah. Again, I'll take the ring.
Speaking of being on beaches, here's a little segue. Be careful when you go on vacation to casinos. These two guys from Newfoundland, Labrador, went down to they were staying at the Rio Bamboo in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I know, I'm familiar with the resort. There's a casino. A lot of these resorts have casinos just off-site.
Yes.
Right. So they go in, they get a $25 chip and complimentary. Come to this table and gamble. And they did. And 6 minutes later, they were told, you're 1 point away from winning $100,000. They didn't even understand the game. 8-ball roulette. It happened so fast. They're like, what? 1 point away from winning $100,000. Keep rolling and you're guaranteed to win. When they heard guaranteed to win, they thought, that's fishy. Turns out that the next roll cost them $1,200. And then they had to go to their bank machine, and the guard stood there and made them pay it. It ended up being 6,500 Canadian, because it was Dominican money, whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
6,500 Canadian dollars, and they made them go to their bank machines and withdraw $200 increments until their cards were declined because too many transactions.
Well, yeah.
Then they made them spend 3 hours on their cell phones accessing the funds. They had to pay the whole thing.
That's shameful.
I know. And then they found out the next day there's nothing they could do. It was because it wasn't Sunwing, it wasn't the Ryu, it was a casino off-site. They go back to try to get that. Be careful out there.
When somebody wants to give you something for nothing, it's never for nothing.
Although they did get 2 free bags of coffee and a thank you for playing our game.
Well, then that was worth it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay, coming up after this break, Clean North is with us. Stay tuned on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday here on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim. We're talking about the health of the environment today. Joining me right now from Clean North Volunteers, Abby Obenchain. Hi Abby, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
And for this first time here, this is Josh Fillion. Josh is a co-op student from St. Mary's College who's volunteering at Clean North. Can I ask you why?
Because I love the environment, you know. I've always wanted to take care of the environment, and
you're an outdoor kind of guy?
Yeah, outdoors, yeah.
Said you came from Wawa originally.
Came from Wawa, yeah. I was there for like 11 years per se.
Yeah.
And you know, like every day, like there was not much else to do except for, you know, go outside, you know. I remember one summer, that's all we did every single day, go swimming, go home, go eat, and go back swimming again.
That's a good life,
It was awesome.
Yeah. So you have concerns about the environment?
Yes, very much so. You know, climate change, most people don't actually know a lot about it or believe in it.
That's scary.
Yeah.
We were just talking on the show earlier about the Jason Kenney winning in Alberta. He's a climate change denier.
Yeah, and you know, like Donald Trump, you know, he's like,
Same
oh,
thing.
it's, you know, it's all fake, you know, it's a hoax, but scientifically it's proven that it's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and Clean North Abbey is very much a grassroots organization. It's volunteers, volunteer-based.
Yes, and we have lots of young people like Josh who are involved, so that's great. And we do encourage anyone who's interested in volunteering and supporting environmental sustainability to consider volunteering with Clean North. Clean North has been around about 30 years, and our current project that we're promoting today is a screening of a film about climate change that's going to be held at the Sault Ste. Marie Library next Wednesday at 6:30.
The film is being shown as sort of a celebration of Earth Day, which is 2 days before, but it falls on a kind of a holiday Monday. So
Right.
So Earth Day is what day?
Earth Day is April 22, and
on Monday.
Right.
On the Monday.
It's on the Monday, and the film's going to be shown on the Wednesday.
On the Wednesday. What time at the library?
6:30.
And that's the Centennial, right downtown, the James L. McIntyre.
Yeah, the door should open at 6 if you want to.
Okay, is there a charge to see the film? Absolutely free?
Yep.
Is it a Canadian film, an American? Do we know the...
So the film, the person behind the film is James Baylog, and he is American.
Yeah.
Amazing photographer and cinematographer. I mean, this film is worth seeing for its visually stunning impact alone.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it, Josh?
Yeah, we watched it yesterday, and after that movie, I just wanted to go out and do something. Like it's honestly, I was watching the movie, and then after the movie was done, I stood up and I didn't even realize, like, I was so into this movie.
Yeah.
And then you go out into the world and you just look at things differently. After that. Yeah.
And this is part of the education aspect of Clean North, is making people aware and asking them to look at things a different way.
Yeah.
Right?
So one thing I would say to people is, if you don't know a lot about climate change, or if you're on the fence or just curious, come watch this film and see what you think. It documents people on the front lines of climate change. So people who are dealing with their community being constantly flooded. The most expensive wildfire in California history at the time that this movie was made. The impacts of fossil fuel extraction.
That's it there.
Yeah, it's on the screen right now. The Human Element is the name of the film.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a very powerful film. And sort of a connection with Clean North is that reducing, reusing, and recycling is a key way that we as individuals can help mitigate climate change, because the more goods that are produced, the more greenhouse gas emissions. So for example, with clothing, if you buy used clothing instead of new clothing, or buy clothing that's made to last, you're helping in the fight against climate change.
Absolutely. You were telling me in the green room before the show about the fibers that are in some of the...
Microplastics, yeah.
They're actually weaving microplastic into the fibers of our clothes?
And then when you wash it, like in the washer, it'll go into the water, and then that water goes into the system, and then it goes into the oceans or the lakes, and the zooplankton will eat it, and then the small fish will eat that, then a big fish will eat that, and eventually we catch the fish.
And then we eat the microplastics.
Yes.
Ugh, we're like those whales that are filling up with plastic stuff.
Yep, it's happening at all scales.
Wow. Yep. Okay, so on a local level, what can we do? What can we do to become more efficient at?
Well, a big one is look
sustainability,
at
right?
Single-use plastics is a very hot topic right now.
Yeah.
This is one way that we can make a difference. So, for example, I've bought beeswax wraps. You don't need to use plastic wrap. You can get at the mill market these beeswax wraps. It's cloth wraps treated with beeswax and a couple other things, and you can
using
you can throw away your plastic wrap.
Saran or whatever.
And I use beeswax wraps. You can't use it with meat, but you can use it with cheese and vegetables and fruit and things like that. You can get bamboo disposable utensils instead of plastic utensils. You can get
bamboo.
Yes, and other types of.
Oh, and the thing about bamboo is it doesn't kill the tree. When you take the
right,
am I right? You can take they're doing construction. Don't be scared. They can take the tree survives.
Yep. So looking at ways to get rid of the single-use plastics in your home: straws, plastic utensils, plastic wrap. Foil is recyclable. Use foil instead of plastic wrap.
And you got to wash this stuff too, right? Because I've heard that if you don't wash stuff properly, you can spoil up to like a whole ream of paper that could be recycled, but if it gets oily or greasy or dirty, it's no good.
Do not put your pizza boxes that have food bits on them in the recycling bin, because you can spoil an entire load
of paper.
Yep.
Right.
People don't realize that.
The other thing too is clothing. Right, you were talking about clothing, recycling clothing, and don't put that in the landfill.
Yes,
like that's
don't put clothing in the landfill. There's no reason to. And actually, you could ask around, even clothing that can't be worn again because it's too worn. There are people who take used clothing and turn it into other things like rugs. Yeah. There are lots of things you can do with clothing,
or kilts, or
kilts and crafting stuff too. People are doing a lot of stuff with things that are not recyclable and making them into artwork or other repurposing. Right. Big thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard the statistics about how much stuff in the landfill doesn't need to be there?
Yeah, I would say pretty much everything.
And at least 50% is compostable.
Yeah. So one thing that's pretty cool is Don McGorman, who's one of our lead volunteers.
Yes.
He has worked on garbage-free events. So
garbage-free
events. Yeah. So where he's part of an event, and they actually make sure that there is no garbage coming out. Everything is either compostable or recycled.
Like Rotary Fest. He goes to Rotary Fest and he personally makes sure that every plate and that's paper, makes sure it goes in the compost. He makes sure.
Oh, you guys do such great. You must be excited to be down there. Is it inspiring?
It is. Every single day, we're always doing something that is definitely going to make a difference,
Another reason why you chose Clean North was because for your future, your career, you're looking at?
Conservation officer. Yeah.
Good for you. You met Dean Greenwood up there at our Conservation Authority?
Yes, I'm actually, Dean's a really nice guy. Yeah. He's just really down to earth. I always enjoyed having a conversation with Dean.
You're kind of lucky to have this kid on board, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
We need more like you, Josh. Really nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, too.
And congratulations to you at St. Mary. You're a good representative for St. Mary's College there. Abby, thanks for being here. No, Earth Day. Go ahead.
Earth Day, and please like our page on Facebook and follow our blog.
And the page is
Clean North. Clean North.
And if you want to get involved, it's a great organization to get behind. And you guys do the tree chipping and all that stuff too?
Lots of
tree
volunteer
chipping,
work.
mulch giveaways. We'll be back to talk about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
And we'll be back to say goodbye with Luann right after this.
My name is Clement. I am 17. I do have a little brother. He is 5 years younger than me, and despite the fact that we're both blind, we're just normal kids. Sibling rivalries and fights and arguments. Sometimes we play games together, yeah. I find most people tend to have this perception of blindness as a huge physical handicap.
Incoming!
Which it isn't.
CNIB, Seeing Beyond Vision Loss.
I love women. I love older women, professional women, stay-at-home moms. I love how women put the family first. I love how you're so concerned that I'll get to your husband. You have no idea that I'm coming after you.
Make death wait. Please donate to fund life-giving research, because heart disease and stroke is the #1 killer of women.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
You are so smooth.
Wasn't that
smoother
good?
than him.
No, I just realized because we want to thank our friends from 4:45
Yes.
again, because they're sponsoring the show this month, and we're so grateful. And it's a great store. It's over on Ashland Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. 4:45. Call that because everything in the store starts at $5, and by the end of the week, it's down to 25 cents. Check it out.
A lot like this show. Starts up here and goes all the way down. Thanks for watching. See you for Bum Slide Thursday.